I love it.
You like the new intro?
I love it. Oh, that was wonderful. My heart soared when I heard the music again. So
I've missed the music.
for sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for doing that. That was awesome.
No problem.
How you doing, Steven?
I'm doing all right. I feel like I haven't seen you in like a month.
I mean,
so
like,
I've been jonesing for some of this again.
Well, here it is.
Yeah, this is nice because for people who aren't aware, we did like sort of a lot of backup episodes that were stacked up.
Yeah.
And so they were like recorded ahead of time, basically. So we haven't actually done this in a hot second. So
it's been a moment. Yeah.
But, and Frankie's back, so that's exciting. So how have you two been?
Surviving.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Forgot to put my phone on silent. Let me do that real fast.
Oh, thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and share the show as well.
Yeah. But no, I mean, surviving is sometimes the best we can do. Hi, Demi. Yeah, no, it's there's been ups and downs, but here we are. High fives. Yeah.
Or less.
You kind of froze on us, but it's all right.
Oh, am I still frozen?
Nope, you're not.
I'm not still frozen.
Maybe.
Hold on. Now I'm confused.
You are not frozen, Steven. You're not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure everything's fine.
Yeah. So, did you have anything you wanted to talk about today?
Well, so we have some user or listener submitted questions.
Okay.
We actually have a lot of them. So
well, before we get to those, I mean, did you have anything you wanted to talk about, though?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
I do. It might not be it might not be saucy, but it is relationship related.
Okay.
And actually, I guess I recently experienced something that I feel like I need to unpack a little bit.
Yeah. This is a safe space to do that in.
So yeah, so a very close friend of mine had sort of a falling out with a close friend of theirs, and it was very awful and emotional and traumatic for them, and it ended with them kind of wanting to remove that person from their life. So they like unfriended from Facebook, all of those things. And that's a very like modern drama.
Because I mean, your phone's with you wherever you go, and so you can't escape. Like you want to be on social media, and you're forever around all your friends and all your acquaintances in this space. So while it sounds juvenile, it's completely valid.
Yeah, and it makes sense because like in real life, you would also avoid a person who brings up like it triggers different emotions.
Absolutely.
But so the thing is, and that's fine. Whatever anyone wants to do, I'm fine. I support that. But recently they reached out to me, and they said, "Hey, I know you're aware that I went through this thing, and it was a very intense experience for me. I'm trying not to have any connection to them whatsoever." And they asked me to unfriend some people that were involved. And I was like, well, hold on now.
Yeah.
I started to get kind of like, I had a very visceral reaction to that because I was like, well, I don't have any personal beef with these people. Like they didn't hurt my feelings. But then at the same time, like I care about this person, and then they also did shitty things to this person that I care about. So like, I was like, I asked if we could talk about it because I had a lot of strong feelings. And then I kind of I was like, let's hold on a minute. I want to talk about it. And then I just kind of disappeared for a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, also like we were working, we didn't really have a chance to talk.
sure,
But then after like about a solid week of thinking about this, um, I decided to unfriend these people because I wasn't like super close to them anyways. Like we were just acquaintances.
sure,
But I told my friend, I was like, I think your friendship is more important than me being able to Facebook stalk these people I barely know, which is totally what I wanted to do.
Mm,
As one does.
yeah. Why else does Facebook exist?
Exactly.
Yeah,
But I told my friend, I was like, this is still something that I still have like strong feelings about. I still kind of want to talk about this, but only if it's something that you're okay with. I don't want to like kick up any dirt or anything, um but yeah, so I guess with all of that,
mhm.
I guess my question is like, have either of you experienced something like that? And is there any like, do you think that was a good way to handle the situation, or do you think I should have just not given in? Because like the idea of removing people or blocking people, it's something that I personally feel pretty strongly against. I've like I've only blocked like a small number of people, and that was very intense circumstances, and it was directly personal and
Sure,
related to me.
yeah.
But I don't know, like, how do y'all feel about it?
Frankie, what are your thoughts?
So I guess it depends on the severity of what one person did. Like, well, they told me my dog sucks or something like that. Like, that's not warrant.
Call the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's like a physical or sexual or emotional kind of abuse, like, okay, yeah, that's grounds for don't talk to that person ever again.
Mhm. So there's lots of facets here. Number one, just as a quick sort of non sequitur, I'm the kind of non-confrontational person to where I'll just unfollow someone. I won't block them because I don't want them to know I hate them, but I don't want to ever be I don't want to look at them. So I
Yeah.
just unfollow. And I don't care if they're looking at my life. I couldn't care less. But so when you originally were talking about it and you said you wanted to discuss it with them, I thought that was very important. Like I thought that was a great call because I want to know more information. I want to know what this person did, how it's affecting your friend, and the regularity with which you see like this your friend sees you interacting with this person. Um, because if it's like if this person X is constantly hanging out with you and you see these photos, you want to be friends with Steven, but you can't be friends with person X. You know, lines have to be drawn. Sort of. Hello, Trip. Um, so I understand that aspect, but then when you said, "Well, I'm just kind of Facebook stalking them," to me, it's like, well, yeah, that's an obvious. That's a no brainer to unfollow and or unfriend these people. But it is very situational, as Frankie said. It depends on the severity of the circumstances. But those kind of scenarios, to me, exist in real life and have been brought up in real life many times before. When like you have a friend who's dating somebody, and you make friends with them or a friend group of theirs, and then the original couple splits up. It's like then you have to like play
I
custody
hate
with
that game. I
yeah,
hate
yeah,
that game.
yeah. Like you have to play custody with whose friends or whose, and like
Yeah.
visitation rights and all this kind of bullshit. But in the realm of social media, you can't compartmentalize it. It's all one news feed. It is one never-ending barrage of information, and you can't separate it out unless you go to the filter. In real life, you can just, oh, that person's going to be there. I won't be at that event, and or vice versa. But you have to hit that button and that block to keep yourself mentally safe and take care of yourself.
I
So I think
just like for me, this so this person, while I was mostly Facebook stalking them, like they've been nothing but cordial to me, and they've been kind.
Just for the context of making sense of everything, can you call the people you unfollowed people X and your friend like person A, or give them a name? Like they can be made up name, but
yes,
friend and person X.
Okay, friend and person X. Okay,
yeah, because
so person X has been nothing but cordial to me. Every now and then they'll say hi and make small talk. Like it's not an in-depth friendship or anything, but like it's not hostile.
They say hi. Fuck, that's
already another step.
1% of the people I follow on Facebook, it's
yeah. But I don't know. It's just something that I still feel a little bit raw about, and I don't want to give too many more details, I guess, because I don't want to accidentally reveal anything.
Absolutely, 100%. Like, initially, when your friend asked you to unfollow person X, like depending on the severity, like it's a bit religious. It's like, well, I've accepted Jesus, now I need you to. Like you can have your own religion, and that's fine, but don't push your agenda on me to unfollow person X.
Yeah, well, like I also kind of, and this might even come across kind of shitty, but like I appreciate that people have a wide range of experiences, and many people have gone through struggles that I haven't or that I don't understand, and that people sometimes carry a lot of trauma with them. But I feel like once the moment that somebody else's trauma becomes my problem, it's kind of like I can try to be there for somebody as much as I can, but once like my autonomy is kind of compromised, it's like, well, I don't know, like, and that can be kind of a touchy thing, especially like in modern day. We have all of these larger questions because people are more socially aware about different things and that kind of thing. And I don't know, it just kind of it pushed a little button that I didn't necessarily know existed within me.
Sure.
And I'm just like, it's uncomfortable for me, but I also acknowledge that it must have been very uncomfortable for my friend to to feel like they should ask that as well.
That is the care that person has for you, is that their care of their bubble of self-care involves you. You're so close to that circle of they're not listed. It's not like a mass email that they're sending out, hey, unfollow this person. They said, hey, Steven, you're in my inner circle of people I care about, and how you help me care for me. Can you unfollow this person for me, because it's that close? Like I guess is the only way I can kind of relate to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And like also I want to say that my friend did not tell me to do this. They asked.
Sure.
Like
right. There was no ultimatums, no demands.
Yeah.
Which is why I appreciated the discussion, that when you said, I need to discuss this with you, because that's you taking self-care for yourself, not just blindly like, yep, no, not a problem. And that kind of love and friendship can exist, and you can just make that kind of decision automatically. Or sometimes you need to say, I need to talk about this with you so I can really understand what's going on and make that decision for myself. And the fact that they were like, the fact that they didn't cause a stink shows a level of maturity in that ask that I appreciate.
Yeah.
So good job, friend. Stay strong.
Good job, friend. Yeah. I love my friend. I love friend.
Yeah, friend is awesome.
Speaking of friends, we had some people write in during this discussion.
Maybe I had something I wanted to talk about, but first.
Oh. No, I mean, there's a comment relating to that topic.
My bad.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I don't know.
I felt like I just like
unfriend me right now, Steven. Unfriend me right now.
Frankie, I don't mind doing the podcast with you, but we can't have Chris here anymore.
Bye.
We have to draw a line.
See ya.
If it's please, Demi,
it's Demi. Demi is like VIP at this point.
Demi's beyond VIP.
So Demi said, I'm the type of person, if they haven't done anything to me, then we're cool. But if that other person happens to be abusive or things cross that line, then that's different. But if you're not close with the people anyways, then I don't see why to continue that friendship and just delete them. So
Well said.
that's how
I
Demi
apologize.
feels.
I trampled on it. It's really me yelling at Steve and not at you, Demi. I would never yell at you.
It's just me. Like, he'll yell at me any day.
100%.
He yells at me all the time,
That's
too,
what you
so.
signed up for.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
So what's this thing that's so important?
So
did you
we
want
got
to say?
talk about it. Everybody's been talking about it, and this way we can fucking hashtag it to get some traction with this motherfucker. We got to talk about the Will Smith slap.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like that has to do with relationships. With Will Smith's relationship to Jada and all that. No, Demi, you're not going to yell back at me. Let's not confuse that issue real fast.
Okay.
Yeah, the Will Smith slap. So like it's a hot button, and I think everybody's already over it. It's been less than 24 hours, and I think the world's already fucking done with it. But because we're recording this on Monday, but so just to make sure, in case you were living under a rock, at the Oscars, Chris Rock was hosting. He made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. Her and Will Smith were sitting in the front row. And he made a comment about G.I. Jane, and she is notoriously has a clean-shaven head for the last few decades. And I didn't know at the time, and I don't know that Chris Rock knew, that she has alopecia, a autoimmune disorder that affects your ability to grow hair. So Will Smith stands up and is smiling, and Chris Rock's like, "Oh, I'm in trouble now," kind of thing, just joking about it because he had made a crack about Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith comes up on stage and slaps the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth, and then walks away with a certain kind of confidence and swagger.
And it was a very good slap. Like
it was a slap. It had some boxer motion to it. Let's not break down.
There was a form to it.
There was a finesse. And initially, a lot of people were still laughing. Chris Rock said, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. And people were still kind of laughing awkwardly because it could have been staged. That's very well a thing that could have happened. But then Will Smith yelled, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And as soon as Will Smith cussed, that whole fucking room got real quiet real fast. And then Will Smith repeated himself, and Chris was like, I will keep my. I will not say her name again, and everybody knew it was very serious at that point. So apologies statements have since been released and all that. And initially, a lot of my social media feeds were on the side of Will Smith, saying that's what you get when you talk shit about a man's wife and blah 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 blah, and that shows real love and da da da. People were coming to his side, saying that if you play around too much, or if you talk about somebody's wife, or if you cross a line, you'll pay the price. Mm-hmm. And in comedy, you always punch up. You never punch down. You don't make fun of people who are disabled or things you can't control. You don't do that. And so absolutely, Chris Rock was not in the right to have made fun of her, regardless of any medical condition she might have. However, I've had to talk to several of my friends like, so you think that the escalation to violence is okay after words were exchanged? Like, he didn't say, "Hey, Chris, could you stop? I don't appreciate that." He didn't take him aside afterward or beforehand or anything like that. And it's not like Chris Rock was like fucking drilling Jada and going in on her just like fucking nonstop. It was one joke, and he was trying to move on. But then Will Smith had to fucking slap him. I think that both parties were wrong, but Will Smith was definitely wronger. The more wrong. More, yeah. I know that wronger is not a word.
I think so.
Why did you not know that I know that? Anyway.
Just experience.
So yeah, that's all I'm saying. Just basically the weird machismo that exists in taking care of your partner and or doing the chivalrous thing. Like, I absolutely have Frankie's back.
And you know I'd beat somebody up.
Oh yeah, I know that more so that Frankie's got my back. Because that's the more likely scenario is that my mouth will go off running and then Frankie will have to come beat somebody up.
That's true.
But I think it's just I don't know, an antiquated thought, and it also endorses violence, which I can't abide by. What are your thoughts there, Steve-O?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I know I just word vomited for about
well, like even just the situation, because Will Smith has been going through a lot, like with his marriage and his relationship.
Mhm.
There's a lot to unpack just with that alone, like
Yeah.
separate from everything that happened.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like controversy, not really, well, I guess controversy, but there's a lot of talks about like how he seemed okay with the joke until he got a look from his wife.
Yeah.
And you know, we're talking about this idea. It's almost like a showmanship of like masculinity, this idea of, you know, I will protect my mate. And while I don't know necessarily if he was cognizant of all of these factors in the moment, this happened in a room full of peers, but it was also broadcast to millions of people.
Yeah.
Very large audience.
Like, I mean, not just nation though; the entire world was watching that show.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a degree of like showmanship and like signaling going on on Will Smith's part, I guess. And all of that makes me uncomfortable, and I feel like I mean, Will Smith, if you want to be on the show, we can talk about this. We can unpack this together.
That'd be amazing. Of all the things you would pick to go to hash that shit out.
Here, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this might be one of the safest spaces to do it, honestly. But I think that with the things that have been happening with his marriage and his relationship, it seems almost like and this is totally me projecting, I guess. Sure, so I can't confirm any of this. But Will Smith can when he's a guest on this show.
Absolutely.
But I feel like he's kind of been emasculated in a sense.
Oh yeah.
By the media, by different things, by choices.
Which is all fucked up as well. Like, I mean, if you have an agreement with your spouse, whatever the agreed upon scenarios with both of you, is nobody else's business. You know?
And then for the whole entire world to be kind of assessing with like a magnifying glass and looking at that kind of thing, like that's got to be embarrassing, like for him. And so all of that pent up stuff, and then for that to happen in that moment, you know, I feel like he snapped, and then he had to show, look, I am here for my wife. Despite all of these things, I am a good husband for her, and I'm not just showing the world this, but I'm showing her this.
Right.
And so I feel like a lot of that was at play. But also, this is a big part of the fucking problem with this idea of what it means to be a man, what it means to be strong, what it means to be, you know, a husband or a wife or a partner. Like, there's all these things. Like, I wish that people could just.
If Jada had a problem, she could have gone up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yeah. Why?
She has a lot less to lose than Will Smith does.
Was that well? Never mind. But I just feel like if I'm so excited for a point in the future when we don't have to worry about these bullshit influences or these like bullshit ideas, and I don't know if we're gonna get there, but it is a little bit shitty to see people on the internet backing up Will Smith because they're also signaling and saying, well, I'm a tough man. I would totally, like, no one talks shit about my wife. And it's like, well, you know, where do we draw that line? Because we live in a country that values freedom of speech. And I understand that that doesn't protect you from the consequences of freedom of speech, but the law does. And when you physically assault somebody, it's against the law. So what are we willing to lose? Are we willing to lose our free speech, or are we willing to lose the ability to be protected from being punched in the face or slapped by someone whenever they get upset? Like, I want freedom of speech, and I want to not be slapped, because I wouldn't have a face if those rules weren't in place.
Jesus Christ,
I would not have a face.
Yeah, you'd be one of the first to go in martial law.
Immediately. I would be like, this is not inherently effective. I'd be gone.
And gently, I laugh. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, the contrast in escalation and response to me is the thing that, like, yes, the laws exist, but to me, Chris Rock wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary that a host at an award show wouldn't do. That's what a host does, is they riff and they make fun of everybody there. You're all open game. You show up, you're open game. If you don't show up, you're open game. If you're popular enough, if you are a celebrity, you're going to get roasted. And whether or not he knew that she had alopecia, not my problem. Like, I'm not an apologist, for this, but you go to a comedy show and you expect to laugh. Chris Rock was trying to get laughs. He did it in a shitty way, but you don't escalate to violence. Like, Chris Rock was doing what Chris Rock was paid to do.
Yeah.
And you go up there and slap the shit out of him. Like, in front of the world. In front of the world.
The world.
Ricky Gervais, or whatever his face is, hosted something a few years ago and just, like, essentially called the entire audience pedophiles and rapists, and nobody slapped him.
Right.
Yeah, probably because he was telling the truth, but but no, yeah, that's a good point. And I feel like it's even more infuriating watching this happen, because I almost feel like, so, like, more often than not, I feel like people get a free pass because they're celebrities, or because they're rich, or because they're, like, just large famous figures. And that's annoying. Like, if somebody hurts other people, then, like, I don't care if they're funny, or if I liked their TV show when they were younger, or if, daddy gave them a small loan of several $1 million. Like, if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. And if you, like, words, fine. But the second that your words actually cause, like, a physical consequence, or the second that your actions become physical, that's a problem.
What if the writer or director of the movie Where the Wild Things Are,
Spike Jonze,
what if Spike Jonze punched a child?
I think he has, actually. Isn't that what Where the Wild Things Are is about? It's just punching children.
Yeah. What if he, like, cut somebody's face? How would you feel about him?
I mean, I don't want Spike Jonze to cut a face.
Sure.
I don't think that he should get a free pass. Okay. If somebody cuts someone's face and it's not in self-defense, let them go to jail. Let them go to prison.
I was just trying to find your hero. I don't know.
Like, I mean, we're having a similar conversation, actually. Hi, Mom. My mom's tuning in.
Hi, Mom. You've raised a wonderful son. He's a good guy. 2 wonderful sons.
I'll have to now I have to watch what I say. Like,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
But, like, we're having a similar conversation because there's a new Harry Potter game coming out, and J.K. Rowling has said some transphobic things, and it's like, where do we draw the line? Because yes, I believe in J.K. Rowling's ability. Thanks, Mom. My mom's.
That's not for you. That's for her. Anyway.
I believe in J.K. Rowling's ability to say whatever she wants, even if it's garbage, I guess. But because she has such a large platform, does that free speech have a negative impact? And at what point do we start, questioning whether we should punish that or whether there should be consequences for that? And it's like, I don't know where to draw that line.
You can say all day long that Harry Potter doesn't belong to J.K. Rowling anymore; it belongs to us. You can say that. She's still getting paid. She's still getting very, very paid every time you purchase a movie ticket or a game or a book. She's very much getting paid for that.
Yeah.
There's, so you can't remove yourself from the turf in that scenario. Like if you love Harry Potter and you buy anything Harry Potter, she's getting a percentage of it. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But see, and then there's also we pay taxes, and people in our government who have questionable motives, they get that money. So we're paying them. What choice do we have in that matter? It's yeah, we can vote, but there's just a whole shit ton of things. And it's I'm just tired of people within positions of power not having to suffer for the shit that they do. And I mean, I personally don't feel strongly in regards to the J.K. Rowling thing specifically, but I just wish people would stop being shitty, and specifically, I wish famous rich people would stop being shitty. Just shut the fuck up, sit down, and if you want to make art, do it. If you want to say something, do it. If it's controversial, whatever. But don't be offensive and don't hurt people. And it's shitty that Chris Rock, sure, comedy, whatever, that's fine. And I personally think that the joke was fine. I don't think it was that shitty. I don't know what the fuck that is. Sorry. Someone in the someone in the chat
somebody could knock that out for us.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I fixed it. Anyways, but I don't think the joke was necessarily that offensive in the grand scheme of comedy. But I do have a problem with somebody slapping somebody in the face. So. Sure. There's that.
Yeah, offensive is always going to be subjective to the times of what's going on. So it's going to vary vastly from decade to decade and year to year. But anywho's, that was all. I just wanted to just bring that to the forefront real quick, so that
I do want to bring up something that Trip Fantasy said earlier. Tripp said, I think it's embarrassing to have to resort to violence when something bothers you. Personally, I hate losing my temper. It makes you feel like a big steaming idiot.
And that was always my goal in high school, was if I could provoke my enemy into violence, I won. Because it was always a battle of wits for me.
And you still have your teeth?
I do. I do. Not all of them are real, but yes.
Okay. All right.
Frankie, I'm putting you on the spot. There's no pressure. Is there anything you wanted to discuss before we got to questions? Anything that's been grinding your gears?
No.
All
right.
All right.
Wow. Cool. No gears grinded. That's pretty good.
Well, then, you're perfectly fine. Wonderful.
I have very limited access to the outside world.
Not necessarily with the outside world, just with anything at all. I mean, anything at all. Me, the kids.
How much time do you have?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you just perked up the ears of our entire listening audience. So, whatever you got.
I don't.
What's the dirt?
Spill that tea.
I really don't have anything.
All right. Well, then no worries. Then if you're okay with it, and you're okay with it, you want to do questions?
Are you going to yell about it some more?
Yeah.
Pick a number 1 through 12.
Wow, that's a lot of fucking questions.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking questions.
6.
Okay, all right, okay. Hold on. 1, 2. All right. So, listener Nicholas Morris wrote in and said, have you made a sex tape or homemade porn? What did you do to protect yourself and your partner? So I think we've touched upon sex tapes and homemade porn before, but I don't think we really went in depth about protecting ourselves too much. But
that's a pretty broad term, as far as protection, protecting oneself.
Yeah. Like we know that you, for example, did not use protection because you hate it.
Man, do I? Why even bother? It's like I'm doing exercise at that point. It's all the physical activity with like next to none of the pleasure.
It takes like 2 seconds.
What are you talking about? I feel nothing. It's like if you were to go to your favorite concert with earplugs and earmuffs on, and then have to stand in the fucking in your car while they're playing, and you don't get to see.
It is recommended to wear.
I love this show. I love this song.
So like it is recommended to wear earplugs at a concert because otherwise you hurt your hearing.
And stay in your car while the show's going on.
I mean, not all of those things, but I'm just saying a little bit of protection. You don't have to fucking be in a bubble while you're fucking someone, but earplugs.
I'm saying
I've
that's
learned my lesson.
The how deadened the experience is. There's no feeling like my.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
It is fair. I do think that there are ways to enhance the feeling.
A metaphor.
I do think that there are ways to enhance the feeling. But anyways, one of our listeners, Trip Fantasy, is actually very interested, Chris.
Well, because I've made
whether or not you have made a sex tape.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So, listeners at home.
There's an update.
There's an update, yeah. I did get to make a short sex tape, and I watched it again, and I just can't stand looking at myself. Still, that's still a thing. You're amazing. Very sexy.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't want to look at any of this. Like, none of it. Not even a little bit.
So what you're saying is the sex tape exists?
Yep.
It is not destroyed or deleted?
Nope.
And I believe you promised that you would send it to Trip Fantasy.
Did I?
I thought so.
I don't recall that.
I thought you said that you were making a sex tape for our fan here. my mom.
Yeah, please put that up.
Okay,
That's
all right. My mom says protection is more than a quote unquote glove. Protection of the heart is important as well.
You're absolutely right, Mom.
That's actually.
There's also, and in this day and age, Mom, you got to think about the protection of your identity and yourself out there in the internet. So there's also, your reputation, I guess. I mean, there's lots of ways to interpret protection, but that is an excellent interpretation of that, Mom. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I've already fucked up on all accounts. Like
I've
already gone
every day
without protecting my feelings, without protecting my online image. Like I am forever tarnished.
Back to the promise to Trip Fan, though. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, so you're gonna have to remind me. Like I remember to make a sex tape. I did that, and I thought it was just for the just to re-examine my own self-hatred. I don't know. I thought it was more for your brother than Trip Fan, but I don't know.
Wait,
not for their brother. Wait. Oh, Trip Fan is. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah,
is my brother.
My bad.
For anyone who doesn't know,
I'm confusing screen names.
Please don't send a sex tape to my brother.
I'm not sending. Dude,
we have enough trauma in our family.
Do we need to make a sex tape together, Trip Fan? I forget. Tell me.
I thought it was like. Well, I'll let Trip Fan.
Yeah, you type it up. We'll keep talking.
Yeah. So my mom actually continued to say a lot of people have sex and have no idea what to do with the emotional aspect. And I agree with that, actually. A lot of people, I feel like they just can't handle things immediately after. Or maybe I'm just a traumatizing individual to sleep with. But relating that to the question that Nicholas Morris wrote in, you actually, so Chris, you mentioned making a sex tape, and it kind of brought up these feelings, like negative feelings towards yourself.
Yep.
So in terms of emotionally dealing with that process, like what do you mind going into that a little more, or is that like
it's not like traumatizing? It's no different than hearing yourself on an answering machine, or I'm sorry, a voice recording. Like I'm sorry, I'm 90 years old. It's no different than hearing your own voicemail and or watching yourself on a video of any kind, whether you're naked or not, because you're not in control of that image, and you just see yourself in a different angle. Like normally you're used to seeing yourself in a mirror, but now you can see all the horrible wrinkles and folds and extra fat deposits from a whole new light. So when naked or not, it's just not a pleasing image. But I really hope that's actually Carlito, like the actual wrestler. Carlito has joined in on our conversation and is eating an apple because that's his whole fucking shtick. I genuinely hope, Carlito, you are welcome here because we are cool. Fuck. I really hope that's him. It's
if there's any way that you can verify,
yeah, please,
please, for the love of God.
I spit in the face of people who aren't cool too, Carlito.
There are actually some wrestlers who follow the show, but
fantastic, yeah. Anywho's.
So Trip Fan did clarify,
yeah,
that you promised that you would make a sex tape, whether it's distributed to me or Demi is a different story. So, okay, so that clarifies it. So the deed is done.
I did that for you, Trip Fan.
You have
and Demi, the many fans, and I guess you and me too. Right?
Yeah.
But mostly for the show. We're making big moves now. Carlito, hashtag Carlito.
Hashtag Carlito.
He's in the house.
He said, thanks. I just came here randomly.
Big fan, bud.
My mom.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hope it's okay that I'm referring to you as my mom.
Well, I mean,
it's pretty easy to figure out,
yeah.
I guess. So that's fine. So she adds to the chat and says, "You think you're doing something beautiful, and then you are emotionally fucked up."
She did not curse.
She said "effed up."
Anyway.
So sorry.
I wanted to circle back to that actually because there's lots of different people tie sex and emotions together differently. Everybody's different. Some people sex has nothing to do with emotions. Some people it's strictly they can only become aroused with somebody that they are emotionally intimate with. And it's different for every single person, and there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's however you can safely do both those things, or whatever, or if you just want to do one of those things, as long as you're safe, more power to you. But yeah, if you're not ready to unpack that emotional baggage, you probably should not think with your genitals.
I think before engaging in sexual activity with anybody else, you got to figure your own shit out first. And I think a lot of times people don't like stop and ask themselves what they really want. Like sometimes people, especially like early on, like when you're first starting to have sex, oftentimes there's either like peer pressure or they just want to feel
societal pressure,
like sexy, or they want to feel loved, or like there's a whole bunch of different things.
Their hormones are going out of fucking control.
Yeah. All of a sudden the banana in the fruit bowl is looking insanely arousing.
Looking at you, Banana and Peach. Looking at you.
It's rough. put the fruit in the microwave for like 5 seconds, and then.
Oh God.
I've never done that. I don't speak from experience. But I've just heard.
What about
All
you?
right.
Now that your mom's here,
I was trying to avoid.
No, I'm bringing it right back.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Mom,
all
this
right.
is a safe space. Okay.
All right, Mom. Don't get mad at me. So yeah, I've made sex tapes and homemade porn. I think I've talked about this before on the show, but like I've done videos and things for money. I actually think I've told my mom this before. So there's that. Whether it's sexy or not is up for debate, but yeah. So I've done those kinds of things. As far as like making porn for like other people, like making a product, basically. I have not done a very good job of protecting myself in terms of my identity and like things like a watermark on the video or like things like that. I when I first started, I was not privy to certain tricks that we've shared on the show before. Now I try to like personalize, like hyper personalize a video. So like I use the client's name, and like I'll put the client's name in the video, like things like that to sort of make it in their like best interest not to spread something.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that, but I didn't always do that. And as far as like a sex tape with a partner, not necessarily videos, but I've like taken pictures and stuff with partners and things in the past. And that actually kind of bit me in the ass once, because not literally, but
that was my follow-up.
yeah, that was. But when the PlayStation Vita first came out, and I'm sorry, Mom, it was actually a gift from my mom. She helped my boyfriend at the time and I get the PlayStation Vita. But the Vita had built-in cameras and a very nice OLED screen at the time. It was pretty state-of-the-art. And so we would like take pictures and stuff, and it was like kind of fun. We would have these pictures of each other, and we would be able to transfer them wirelessly across to the Vitas. It was like a fun little thing.
Yeah.
And then my Vita got stolen. And it was stolen by my sister's boyfriend at the time, which was even worse. But he pawned it, sold it for some fast cash.
Sure.
And I was mortified when I found out. And I was even more mortified when I saw on my PlayStation Network profile that I had earned a trophy in a game that I did not play. So that means that somebody got on that Vita, they could access everything, and they probably saw me and my boyfriend at the time doing a whole lot of unsavory, questionable things.
Because I know you were honestly more upset about them getting a trophy under your name.
Well, I was upset because that meant that not only did the Vita sell to somebody,
yeah,
but like they turned it on and they did not reset the system.
Yeah.
So the pictures were still there. Like that was proof that they could see the pictures.
Sure.
And so for a year, I was going around in public spaces and I would be like, did this person see me naked? Did this person see me naked?
Sure.
And it wasn't just me being naked. Like, that's fine. If people see me naked, whatever. But it was the fact that I was doing ungodly things. That's what was scary to me.
So I think someone's going to anonymously write in a question of what ungodly things were you doing, but
we'll save that for
another show.
Yeah.
That's fine. Now I do have to say one thing about the sex tape, in that there was definitely, even though like when I could ignore myself and or just crapped myself out, it was still way hotter than most of the porn that I watch. So I don't know if that's because I can actually remember the sensation of all of it happening, or it's because there's somebody that I care about in it, or it's my penis. There's a whole unknown number of things.
What's that meme with like Leonardo DiCaprio? He like he recognizes in the TV. That's my penis. That's my penis.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I was doing. Yeah. Yes. So thanks, Trip Fan. Thanks for making me do that again. It won't happen again, bud. And if it helps you sleep at night, I absolutely thought about you while I was making that video. I can say with 100% guarantee you were on my mind while I was making that video.
Wow.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yep. I was making it for the fans.
For the Trip Fan. I feel like we should make like awards. Like when we reach 100 episodes, we should have like awards for different people who tune in regularly.
Sure.
And like for Trip Fan, the reward should be for being on Chris's mind while he makes a sex tape.
Sure. We ruined the surprise for him. Jeez.
Well, he'll forget.
He'll forget. I don't think he will.
The guy who said, "I remember everything."
Yeah. Now I got to figure out what these awards are. Immediately, I just think about it's like a cum shot. It's just a dick and balls. Just.
Oh, speaking of dick and balls, I saw something that I've never seen before. It's a
well, obviously not dick and balls.
Not dick and balls. I've seen lots of those
before, Steve.
Where do you get those, by the way? But no, there's a sex toy, okay, and it's like a plastic device that goes around your balls, but it kind of like separates them, so it's like a Y shape. So they're like kind of poking out on the sides, but the idea is so that you can penetrate your partner with your ball sack. And so it basically it holds it and stabilizes it and turns your ball sack into a dildo essentially, and then you can insert it and you can go in and out with it, but your balls are exposed so you can feel it, so you have the testicular sensation while you're pleasuring somebody else. And I was like, I don't think that feels good. I just spit everywhere, but I don't think that would feel good at all. But I think I have a picture of it, actually.
I don't know if you should put it up.
That's a good point. Well, if it's a drawing, let me double check.
If it's empty, if it's not in use currently.
Okay, yeah, it's just like it's not a. Okay, so this is
out of the device. It's not a problem.
Hold on, that's
there it is. It's Bullet Bill. It's Bullet Bill. And the testes are the arms.
Oh no!
The testes are the arms.
Now I can't unsee it.
Yep, it's Bullet Bill.
Isn't that interesting though?
What?
What an odd-shaped penis.
Yeah, it's. Well, I mean, people have all kinds of different dicks.
Absolutely, yeah. Penises come in all different shapes sizes, and boy, do they come.
My mom says, "Ouch."
Yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna knock until I try it. So
I just don't understand it.
I get it. I just, man, like, I don't know how it would feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because
just steps.
It is just sex and extra steps, but that's most sex.
Whenever I imagine what this would feel like, I just feel like I'm gonna vomit.
I just feel like it's going, I'm gonna want it to be nice and pleasurable, but it's gonna just squeeze my balls and hurt them.
Yeah.
It's just gonna,
I can't even sit down a certain way without getting that feeling in my stomach to have it in a contraption and then rubbing, like, I just don't know.
Right. Why be in a vice? That's what it seems like. Yeah, it's what it seems. You're right, Mom. Putting Bullet Bill on my testicles seems like a bad idea, but I'm still willing to try it. So,
I mean, I'll try it, but I feel like I
maybe that's what we do for the soft launch. We just wear those.
It's gonna be a soft launch.
We wear those for the soft launch, and we just don't show them.
What do we do for the hard launch? That's what I want to know.
Question number 10.
Oh, do we have time? Is that what we're doing?
Oh yeah, we only have 4 minutes left, so we can do the old two-banger. All natural.
Do we want to do a two-banger? Or we can do like another question and just have this be like a slightly longer episode, or
sure.
You want to do that?
That's fine.
All right. What number did you say? I'm sorry.
10.
It's just, I just feel bad because my mom is in the chat, but it's fine. So this is also from Nicholas Morris. Writes in and says, "When did you start masturbating, and what was the experience like?"
Frankie?
I have to think about this.
All right. I have no qualm. I've told the story to close friends. I don't really give it like it's. I had a very early exposure to to sex and to reading materials, as it were, to videos. Like I was raised by my dad, and so he just had pornography. He had it hidden. It wasn't laying around, but I'm a kid, and I'm going to be curious. I'm going to explore things, and I found his porn mags pretty quick. I was like 5. I once accidentally popped in a tape of his, and it was porn, and I didn't quite understand the video at that point. I was like, "What's going on here?" But the Playboys I found and the Penthouses, I understood those, that they were naked women, and it made me feel a certain way. And so I think like shortly after then I was crying, just like I was going to town on myself. I mean, nothing happened, nothing came out, but it just felt nice to touch myself. So really, really young.
5, you said?
Yeah. Because it was like I found those magazines.
I feel like that's like playing with a gummy worm. Just
right. Like no, yeah. But it started there and it continued on for as long as there were no gaps. There was not like the year Chris didn't touch himself. It was.
Isn't that a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So like from 5 years old on, I was just touching myself and having a good old time. Yeah. And I'm fine.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing wrong with you at all. So real fast, my mom writes in and says, "That kind of breaks my heart. Way too early, no understanding of what you were seeing."
Sure.
I almost feel like that's kind of what's nice about early sexual experiences, at least for me, because it wasn't inherently a sexual experience. It was just all about like pleasure, really. It's like, oh, right. This feels nice. And like talking about it as an adult is kind of weird because, sometimes like the things that we do for pleasure when we're younger, it doesn't make sense really. Like I've talked about this before, and my mom will actually remember this. So like the little air jets in swimming pools. Whenever we would go and visit my grandmother in Florida, I would be hanging on the side of the pool because the little air jet would be hitting my little prepubescent penis, and I thought it felt great.
Right.
And it was not sexual. It was just a little pee-pee massage, and it was great. And then I would get yelled at.
It felt like nothing you've ever felt before.
Yeah,
but
and I would be
the
pushed
thing
off the
is,
side
like,
of the pool, and they'd be like, "Get away from that! Stop it!"
Right,
Yeah,
but it's built in. Like, it's built into you. Like that, touching that area feels nice, and in a way that doesn't feel nice anywhere else. Like, it gives you a certain pleasure that you don't get anywhere else. And I just found the fucking jet stream without being in a pool. Like, that's all it was. And so to ease mom's broken heart there. Like, no, I was fortunate in that no one abused me. No one like was touching me or doing anything inappropriate. Like, I was just a curious kid and found some naughty pictures. So while you can have a broken heart for me, I feel like I got a jump start on having a good time. So
See, that's a good point too. Like, because our experiences with like exploring pleasure when we were younger, it was completely consensual. It was self-exploratory as well, and it kind of allows us to understand what pleasure is without the sexual component, so that later on in life, when the sexual component is added in, we understand what it means to feel good, and we aren't told by anyone else. I mean, we still are, but like, we have a better understanding and better ability to know this feels good to me, and so I want it to feel good to me again. And I think we're a little bit better equipped to be able to say, oh, this is not pleasure. Like, this is not what this means. This is not the air jet in the pool.
yeah,
Air jet. Things have never been as good as the air jet in the pool.
Frankie, do you feel comfortable answering this question?
Yeah, I was probably 13, 14. My boyfriend at the time kind of encouraged me to do it, and so that made it a little weird. Yeah, it took a while to figure out, because it's not as easy as rubbing your dick on stuff.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
So you said that he encouraged you to do it. Was he like present, or was he just saying, hey, you should do this in your free time?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah, he wasn't a very nice person.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I wish
I would say I didn't learn my lesson at all, but I didn't.
I kind of wish I don't know how to say this, but like, it is a lot easier. Like you said, I feel like it is a lot easier for boys to start experiencing pleasure just like accidentally, naturally in life, just because it's just there.
What was that?
It's there. But like,
it's like a little baby elephant.
Yeah, right.
I don't like. I wish that there was a solution to that, but there's not really anything that I can think of that wouldn't be awful.
Yeah.
So like,
I walk down that road.
Yeah, like but I don't know. I think God fucked up. I think. But yeah. Let me go back real fast. My mom says boys typically start to touch their junk about age 3, always hands in the pants, but usually progresses until about 8, or progresses about 8. Yeah, I mean, I know I was touching myself when I was very young. Well, I mean, I was also a very large baby. I had a hard time reaching, but hence the pool jets. But also, Minaxra writes in and says, I had to do research to try to figure out how to jerk off. when you say research, if you don't mind, Minaxra, what was this research? Like, did you go on the internet? Did you find an encyclopedia? Did you ask an expert? Like, what did you do?
I mean,
Jeeves.
the internet I don't think was mainly porn.
Oh, that's interesting. Twitch censors porn. Or maybe they did that. Anyways, mainly porn is what Minaxra says. Okay, all right.
Because that's how I did all my research, on in every aspect of research I've ever done, porn's been involved. So
what if your job was like a scientist?
Yeah.
I work for the Environmental Protection Agency. It's like, what? Yeah, I study porn.
Yeah. Porn is involved in my studies, that's for sure. There's a dirty porn of it somewhere, so may I have some of that? Thank you.
I suppose.
Oh, okay. Minaxra clarifies and says, it took me a long time to figure out exactly how to jerk my penis to achieve orgasm. So I guess the mechanics of it all.
Sure. When I was younger, like when I was in my early teens, like I would start to have that sensation of like I'm about to come, but I'd stop because I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. This is scary. Like,
Whoa!
Yeah. Like it's too much. Like I was overstimulated, But then I learned that if you just keep going, then there's something even better at the end.
Yeah, I feel like when I first started, like that wasn't even something that I was capable of doing, was ejaculating.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have still been able to orgasm. Like I feel like I remember a sensation, but it was not like nothing came out. So yeah. But yeah, and then once that was a thing that I was able to do, I actually distinctly remember the first time that I came, and I hated it, not because it was an unpleasurable experience, but because like I wasn't watching anything that I particularly enjoyed, because it happened accidentally. Because like, things feel good and you're just touching yourself. But I was watching TV before going to sleep because I had school the next morning, and my mind completely wandering and everything, and I'm just like touching myself and everything, and then I just like immediately come, and I'm like, oh, this is new, and what was on the TV was fucking puppies, because it was Animal Planet, and I was like, God damn it! So now every time that I think about the first time that I came, I see puppies, and I'm like, God fucking damn it, stop! And I have to like move it out of the way, and I hate that. I hate that like brains associate things, and then it's like, get out of the way. You're ruining it for me. I hate it.
So when you see puppies, do you think about the first time you came?
It doesn't necessarily happen in the inverse, but it's like specifically if I'm talking about the first time that I came, it's like that.
You have to talk about that, yeah. Sure.
And it's like it's rough. It's rough. No pun intended. Oh my god. Because rough, Jesus,
it's rough.
I fucked up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That was a nice pun.
And then my mom says porn is fake and really not a good source of knowledge.
So, Mom, I don't know how much of the show you listen to, but I definitely I'm the comedic relief, and so yes, I'm aware that porn is not a good source of knowledge. But if you're telling me that all those people don't really love each other, I'm just kidding, Mom.
I mean, with that pizza delivery guy, was love at first sight.
Yeah,
love at first slice.
All those step siblings. Why is step sibling porn the most prevalent?
I don't know.
It's because it's taboo, but they're not related, so it's fine.
But like, why is that the number one thing?
That is actually a good point. Like, of all the taboo things, like why
that?
That
bothers me.
Yeah.
Minaxra writes in and says, I remember trying to figure it out and literally fucking everything I could. Water bottles, couch cushions, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever works, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like when we like I fear that for my children, just because I mean anything. Nothing was safe.
See, like I didn't really fuck objects. I would just like I would basically like line up a series of pictures, and I would be like, oh, if I touch myself and look at this, do I enjoy this? And then it's like, nope, next. And it would be like a buffet of a whole wide variety of things, like a very wide variety of things that I'm mildly ashamed of now. But like I would just go through,
Sure.
and then the things that worked, I would be like, all right, and the things that didn't, I would delete them. So yeah, but I didn't really do a lot of like
didn't have internet access when I started. Like,
that must have been difficult. Like, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
bro. Let me tell you, man. Before, like with the internet, it's just a fucking paradox of choice. I spend more time looking for something than I do actually cracking one out. But my God, when you only have like a window of 30 minutes before your dad gets home, you got to fucking barrel through with whatever you have.
Yeah. And you got to make sure if you're using those tapes and those magazines that you found of your dad's, you got to make sure that you don't only finish, but that you can put it back exactly the way that it was.
Yeah, I did a lot
you
of
got to make sure that there's no.
So video VCRs have they still have the time on them, so you can still rewind to the time that you were at. Like I made sure, like I wasn't like sneaking booze and filling the water back up. I was rewinding the porn to the exact point he left it at.
I mean that's actually nice. That's pretty considerate, I think. Like
I think it was nice. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
Great son.
An actress says J.C. Penney's catalogs.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory, really.
Yeah. Swimsuit issue. Sports Illustrated.
I just had video game magazines.
Sure.
There wasn't a lot of material, but yeah, because like I think around that time it was mostly like mascot platformers. And
Crash Bandicoot, you gonna get it?
I was more of a Sly Cooper kind of guy.
Right.
He's a little bit more, like
Sly.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's good for this episode. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's a nice one. I like it. Thanks for joining us, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. I like legitimately.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were here. I'm glad that you were contributing to the conversation. I'm glad that you didn't make me feel too uncomfortable.
Yeah, anything that was felt, it was all on you anyway. There was no. Mom didn't do anything.
Exactly. But yeah, and everyone else, thank you for joining.
Hey,
mostly my mom.
Fuck you guys. Mom's here.
Man,
I actually got something here. When I was in high school, I got into a Sears catalog advertising swimsuits. Oh boy. Yeah. Mine got into a Sears catalog.
So hold on, the classmate.
So you
was
knew the person who was in the catalog, and so you handled your business to your friend. Now we got to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And did you tell your friend ever?
Oh. I'm on the edge of my seat.
No. All right.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to get this person on the show. Talk to him. No, I'm just kidding.
What we had like 2 special guests, and we just go away. We just leave them on there. And they.
No, over here, I have no idea. Oh well, there was that one time.
There's
you
something that I wanted to
that catalog.
Oh my god. All right, are we doing a post show?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just end it. But anybody who's here, just stay put. We're gonna have a post show where we can just hang out and talk about whatever. No holds barred or whatever the phrase is.
And listeners at home, thank you so much for joining us in our audio podcast. You can always join us on Twitch when we do this live Monday nights. Time frame is sometime after 9 p.m. So please come join us then. You get to contribute to the conversation. And yeah. And also they can contribute to the show as well at www.mtfproductions.com/donate. Help us out there because we love doing this and we would love to do it as a full-time job. But we can only do that with the donations from our lovers and our listeners and our friends. So please.
Which is really all the same.
Yeah, really, it's all the same category there.
You sound like NPR.
Mom, I'm looking at you. You need to donate, Mom.
I ship it. Is that weird? Did that cross a line?
No, I'm good with it.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you in the post show.
All right. Everybody who's here live, just stay put. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a little bit. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Love, love, love.
I've missed that mouth trumpet so much. God, I haven't heard that in ages. God, I missed that.
It has been a hot second. I do edit it in. God, I can't fucking talk. I do edit it into the audio version, but when we do it live, it doesn't have the thing.
Right.
So.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Manax, yes, absolutely. As soon as anybody ever says no holds barred, I automatically think about that fucking movie with Hulk Hogan and tiny Zeus Listern.
I have no idea what.
It's a wrestling movie back in the early 90s, maybe late 80s.
It's not wrestling.
Oh, it's wrestling. No holds barred.
Do we need to ask Carlito?
Oh my God, if he's still here. Because he's definitely the real Carlito, because you can't just create a name in a picture.
No, it has to be.
Yeah. So, Manax, with your permission, I'd like to answer another question from the questions list in the post show, so that way the people have a reason to tune in.
Oh,
because you're here. Is he still here?
Is Manaxra the one who submitted the questions?
Maybe. I don't know how, like, the fact that the questions have the person's name displayed, like, I don't know. It's so bad. Oh, the movie's awful, yes.
Oh.
I was like, what? But, oh yeah, okay, please. Fantastic. So,
no, I just used the name that was in the email. So.
You didn't seek permission?
Well, like, it popped up in the thing.
I don't know. Next time we'll ask permission to use that person's name. Frankie, pick a number 1 through 9.
7.
7.
7?
Yep.
What's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you during sex?
There's so many.
Right. So the first thing I can think of is that there was one partner I had that I could not last more than 30 seconds with. Like,
Jeez.
there was nothing particularly special. I don't know what it was. We were in a relationship for a month or two, and we just had to call it quits because I could not. Once penetration happened, it was just like, all right, well, I'm sorry.
Maybe that's a situation in which you should use protection.
Maybe it was. I still didn't. And so yeah, that was like I think I don't know. Like I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't shake that one. So that was definitely embarrassing. And I was like, I promise this never happens. And like it's never happened before and or after that person. Like I can go forever. But anyways, so that was that. I'm sure I've got something that's like more comical though.
What about you, Frankie?
I honestly can't think of one, like off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a lot, but I got nothing right now.
Mom, you should never. Mom, don't. You're not deterring people from joining. No, you're good. I appreciate your input.
Yeah, you're great. If anything, I think that more people are here because you're here.
Yes. No, yeah, you don't ever worry about it. Like I'll tell you, Mom. Like, hey, Mom, you crossed the line. You gotta fucking go.
But today's not it.
I feel like you're not intolerant, so I think you're safe.
Yeah, this is fine. This is great.
Whenever you want, as long as we can keep calling you Mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Steven, what do you got now that we're talking to your mom?
So two things I guess come to mind. One is like one of the first times that I ever had anal sex. I had a case of the poop dick, which is very common, especially when first figuring shit out. No pun intended. But it scared me because like I don't personally, like I don't find anything arousing about a penis covered in shit. Like I just don't. That's not my cup of tea. So yeah, when that happened, like I pulled out and I'm just like and like there was just a lot of screaming and like I wanted to wipe it off, but I didn't know like what I was allowed to wipe it off on. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But thankfully I was with somebody where it wasn't their first rodeo. They quickly handled the situation. But I was embarrassed because I thought it was something that I did.
Yeah, you stuck your penis in their butt.
Oh yeah. So there was that, but then also like more recently, it's actually kind of the opposite situation as lasting 30 seconds, where it was like I just couldn't finish, and it was like hours and hours and hours, and it was at the point where like it was no longer fun.
Yeah.
We had a mission where we were like, we have to fucking do this. Yep. We have to do this. And then they were like out of breath and tired. They just wanted to go to sleep. And they're just like, we don't have to do this. And I'm like, no, we have. And then, but yeah. And then we ended up, it worked. It was fine. But it definitely, it was exhausting.
So
what?
Yeah, no, it's just we have just a random person joining us, and that's fine.
I just don't understand the question.
Yeah, no. If minus the thing at the end there, he's saying you wouldn't. He's asking if you're gay, basically. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And
Okay. So you must be new. Hello. Welcome to the show. This is the podcast with benefits. We talk about love, sex, and relationships. We are queer friendly, but it's not a requirement. Everyone is welcome here. Yeah, we talk about all those things. This is the post show, so this is the more laid back, like we're just kind of chilling right now.
You should have seen it earlier. It was wild. There was a wrestler here.
Yeah, there was a wrestler. It was great. But yeah.
So, a couple things came to mind.
Thank you, Mom. Yeah, for clarification, I am married to a man. Man.
I thought of a couple things. The first time I was with somebody and they had their period.
Ooh, that's mine.
Yeah, right. And like I was like, I just didn't know how to proceed. I felt bad. If you're asking me, 100% true is asking. So has she ever used a strap-on you? Not a strap-on, no. But there's been some butt play, and it's been wonderful. So, oh no. Yeah, thank you for blocking that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the first time I was with somebody and they were on their period, I was like, oh, okay. That's why I let them know. I was like, hey, by the way, that shut things down immediately. So that was rough. The first time, not the first time, like the second or third time I was getting a rim job, I was looking like I was like making intense eye contact with the person for some reason. Because that's what they were about. Like they just really liked having the eye contact, so I was giving them that. But I noticed a bit of brown on their tongue.
Oh.
Yeah. And I felt real. I was like, oh man. But they kept going. I'm like, oh, I should shut this down. I should shut this down right now. But I
see, like I know people stand by this, but like I just can't get into the whole eating ass.
I sure.
Like, I just
can't. Understandably so.
Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah. I know that memory haunts me for sure. Because like, oh, and they kept on like I was like, you're something's wrong because you're still going. Like I'd stop. I'm like, nope, yep, you need to go take a shower, bud. Yuck indeed, Mom. Indeed.
So 100% true asks, have they ever used a strap-on you?
And I think they're talking about this side of the fence here.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of said it. First off, their pronouns are they, them. And no, they've not used a strap-on me, but there has been butt play on this side. And it's great. It's great. What's that called? It's the butt plug. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going to say prostate or something.
Yeah, sure. No.
The male clitoris.
Yeah.
God put it there. So, I mean,
right?
If he didn't want us to play with it, then what is he doing?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
to listen to this.
Oh my god. All right, Manaxra. I masturbated one night and passed out in my chair, no pants. And then my mother walked in. The porn was not on the TV. I had a wall projector at the time. So was it on the wall?
I would assume so.
I think, and to clarify if I'm wrong, that the porn had ended. Unless you're saying like it's either not as bad as we think, or it's way worse.
Or it's worse, yeah.
Yes.
That's where I'm confused. Like it's a very important distinction.
Yeah, is it not as bad like, because the picture's over, or because it is blown up in?
Yeah, just and then this. Just a kid passed out.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
Did you clean? Like, or were you just like you finished and then okay, I'm going to sleep, and then like dick in hand, like dry cum all over your stomach. Like, I'm trying to set the scene here.
Sure.
Just like
visuals, man.
ginormous, like drive-in theater size screen.
Just ball slapping.
It's on a loop.
That's how I interpret it.
Okay, the porn had not ended. Damn.
Oh. Okay.
Damn.
So it's just massive size. Yeah.
I wonder if your mom thinks about that.
Here's a question. I don't care for this shot. But I know my proclivities are different from yours, Stephen. How do you feel about
Proclivities?
your what you like to watch?
Okay.
How do you feel about the behind the person who's penetrating, the behind them shot? Basically looking at balls and taint and an asshole.
Oh, like the third person and below.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Not
you can barely see any dick going into anything. You just see balls and taint.
Yeah.
How does that shot? Does that shot do anything for you?
Does nothing for me.
Right. Like, it's not a good shot.
It's not a good shot. So I don't care who you are. To me, balls aren't sexy. Like, they're funny, if anything. They're just like it's just like a little like wrinkly, leathery, like it's just a mess. Like like it's like silly putty. Like I don't want to.
Only you could put them in a bullet bill to make them more serious.
Well, boy, do I have the toy for you.
Well,
For 17 easy payments of $19.99.
Jesus Christ. That's real expensive bullet bill.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the only one that exists, I guess. Like, I've never seen it before. This is an exclusive.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. It's not a hugely popular item. Frankie, would you like to discuss your also in the way? Well, I mean, what do you do, Mom? Do you like move them out of the way? What do you do?
How do you deal with the balls, Mom?
Yeah.
Maybe Dad can chime in. Let's make it a family reunion. Get the whole family involved.
Hi, Quasimodo. Do you care to share?
I just got my period during it, and it was awful and embarrassing, and I might have cried in the bathroom.
Oh, well, when don't you cry in the bathroom?
That's true. Every time I'm in there.
Every single time.
So, did you? I'm assuming your partner at the time witnessed this, or was it something where like you experienced it and then you left?
Who's that with? Oh, he pulled his dick out and it was just lots of blood. And he's like,
instead of the poop dick, it was the blood dick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, should we keep going? I said, no, thank you.
Yeah, like at least he told you. I mean, like, and that's I feel like that's the right thing to do. Like, I was in the same situation. I was like, hey, by the way, you're not going to notice this before I do. You're on your period, and that's like bloop, shut it down.
I do like the fact that they were like, hey, should we continue?
Yeah.
Like, instead of just all right and then just keep going, or the opposite, like, oh no, and then like, because them freaking out is it's like almost worse than the opposite. So what is going on here? Hold on.
It's all wet in the dark. Like, honestly, if I hadn't seen it in the light, I would have had no idea. I would have had zero clue, because it's all wet, It
smells like pennies.
Okay, wet in the dark. For some reason, I thought
pennies.
For some reason, I thought that they just said it's all wet and dark, and I was like, I don't know. I was just confused.
Yeah.
My brain broke.
Another. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know if she appreciates me putting this on blast, but you can read this one, Chris.
Mom chimes in after the question I asked about what she does with the balls. And she responds, I haven't done anything in about 10 years, but they are just hairy things not needed. Well, I feel like they're needed, Mom, because...
Just, snip, snip.
Yeah. Because obviously you have 3 wonderful children.
Yeah, I couldn't exist if balls didn't exist.
Right.
Wait, well, actually...
Could you? No. Now back to the period partner. There's this restaurant I really wanted to try going to one time, and I go in, and she's at the fucking cash register. I'm like, oh fuck, and so I immediately just turned and left, because I was standing in line, like it was a long ass line because it was a popular fucking restaurant, and I was just getting carry out, and I stand there, I'm like, where do I know them from? I'm racking my brain, like I know them. Where do I know them from? And then like I was like 2 people away. I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, and I just fucking left. I just didn't want to hash that out for them or me, obviously, but one day I'll try that food, but it wasn't that day.
I love this. This is just balls just sag.
They do.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Especially when in the summertime. Oh, Mom, let me tell you.
Summer balls.
Oof. It's tough. It's just silly putty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do think so. Mom, you're saying that balls were needed to make your 3 wonderful children. One of them slightly better than the rest. Davin, it's my brother. But I think we need to get Dad's opinion on this. So at some point, maybe next week, you can let Dad know when we're live and get him to tune in.
I mean, okay, now stop. Hold on, Mom. Okay, first, number one. Yeah, I agree.
Now it's personal.
I know, yeah. First, I agree that balls get in the way, but I like they're.
Everybody likes boobs.
Everybody likes boobs, so don't disparage boobs, okay? Boobs are wonderful. You like looking at boobs, Mom. Don't lie. Everybody on this stream right now likes looking at boobs.
I like looking at boobs.
Frankie likes looking at boobs.
I'm a fan of a good boob.
Steven likes looking at boobs. That guy who was in here on YouTube earlier, he likes looking at boobs.
Which one?
Carlito and Truth. Daddy.
Oh.
Daddy, that seems real naughty, Mom. Daddy will never.
Daddy doesn't approve. Oh no. This is I'm not gonna
Manax, you missed, I don't know if you missed it earlier, but Carlito is here in the chat.
The
Carlito.
One and only.
Yeah.
I liked boobs before children. So, like, before you liked children, you liked boobs?
No, pre-children boobs are the best. Post-children boobs are...
I still enjoy them. A lot.
I do enjoy boobs a little less when they're on me. And they've been a little bit more prominent lately. And I don't want...
Let's go to the gym.
Do we have to?
No, we don't.
It seems like a lot of work.
It does.
I mean, I'll do a lot of weird shit to exercise, but going to a gym just seems so extra. Mm-hmm. Like I'll be in a room and I'll dance. I'll do that.
A little Zumba.
Yeah.
Taekwondo. What was that? Billy Banks.
Billy Blanks, yeah.
Yeah.
Tybo.
Tybo. That's what it was.
My dad had Tybo.
My mom had Tybo.
Oh, they definitely would have.
Sounds like a disease. My dad had Tybo. My mom had Tybo. Wait a second. Where did she get it?
And now the real case of the Billy Blanks. All right. Well, I think that was a wonderful post show. Quasimodo, have you joined us before, Quasi? I don't know if I recognize that name. Okay, wonderful.
But I don't remember. I don't remember which episode. It's been a minute.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Tune in again. My time. 2 weeks.
Is that good?
I don't know. Well, thank you for coming back, Quasi. I'm sorry it's been so long. It's my fault. I failed you, Quasi.
I'm sorry, Quasi.
Are you? All right. Well, yeah, I'm headed to bed.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired.
But tune in, same bat time, same bat channel.
Bat. Yeah, Monday 9:30, right? Monday 9:30 next week. And then this episode should be available. The video will be available like just a couple hours after this. So that's good. And then the audio will be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on More Than Friends, mtfproductions.com. Hey, Cece. Hi. We're just about to end, so I'm sorry. But but thanks for tuning in. All right. Or maybe they were here this whole time.
Maybe. We need to get our listeners to chime in and let us know they're here. You know?
Oh, Manaxtra says more Frankie. We can do that. If Frankie's okay with it, we can do that.
It's scheduling.
Yeah.
Is the problem. If we caught a night where Frankie was free on Monday night. That or we have to schedule a different night, maybe? I'd like to do this earlier.
I agree. So, like,
what are your Wednesdays like?
Right now, it's weird. I just found out that the 10,000 Villages store at Newport is closing.
Oh,
yeah. But conveniently, as you know, we're opening our new store where the new More Than Friends studio is going to be. So April I'm going to be like figuring shit out. But then once everything's figured out, I'll be my own boss and I'll have my own schedule, so I can basically do whatever. So
whatever you want.
Yeah, but I've got like a week and a half basically left at 10,000 Villages, and then it's just focusing on getting things kind of going at a steady pace with the new store.
Sure.
And then blank canvas. We can do whatever we want.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. We'll stay. Obviously, we'll stay in touch, but we'll keep touching base with that because I would like to reschedule these at an earlier time for our listeners and viewers.
Yeah. If anyone has any times or days that they suggest, I mean, anyone watching or listening now, they're
This is what the after show is about is engagement with you guys and getting to know what you guys want. Also, keep sending your questions. If you like the questions that were submitted tonight, submit your own. If you didn't like the questions that were submitted tonight, submit your own. Mom, I expect you to submit some questions.
Yeah, submit some questions. You can email us at bemorethanfriends@gmail.com, or Mom, just tell me.
No, email them, Mom.
All right, okay.
The official channels. You can't
right.
just be, and also donate.
Also, so real fast before we leave, thank you, Cece, for joining. Good night. I love you. Thank you, Mom, for the congratulations. Make a straw poll that lasts a couple days. I don't know what that means, but okay. I can figure that out. I'm gonna make a note real fast to figure out a straw poll. Is that like a website? Minaxra still wants an OnlyFans. I don't know what I don't know what she's referring to.
Questions.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I'll give you some.
Also, I actually I want to leave on a note that my mom posted. Actually, I think this is a really nice sign off. But my mom says, "I hope you all have some wonderful, meaningful sex tonight. Make memories. Mom loves you."
Aw, that's precious.
I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. And we love you too.
Yeah.
All right.
Love you, everybody.
Love. Good night.
Good
See
night.
y'all next Monday.
Mwah.